I started the business in 1971. I was working for my dad at the time, and we were involved in reprocessing thermoplastic. Some big major contracts with some very well-known companies, and we needed some equipment to first of all convey material from granulation and mixing systems to the final processing machine, which was known as an extruder at the time. And there was nothing really on the market. So I came across a company in France that was talking about making a brand new thermoplastic, which I knew would be the secret to making a flexible conveyor. And we did some trials, and that's how we started making the first flexible screw conveyors. And I thought, well, I could make a business out of this. I always wanted to work for myself, and off I went.
And this was 1971 in Clitheroe, England.
In Clitheroe, England, right at the end of the street where we are now. Well, we got here to the US. First time I came here, I recognized fairly early on that there would be a huge market here in the States. And like Europe, there was nothing really out there doing what we did. I went with a couple of guys. They were actually from the UK originally, and we formed a joint venture. They made aeromechanical conveyors, which we did not make, so that gave us an additional product line to sell in Europe, which has been very successful, as you know, both here and in Europe. And we formed a joint venture. The deal was that they wanted to retire to the beach in about 5 years' time, which is where they still are today, playing golf. And that's exactly what we did. We formed the business. 5 years later, they sold me their shares, and it became Spiroflow as we know it today. And then I met you.
Yeah. That's one of those things that sometimes you just don't understand how the coincidences in life work. We were introduced by a flight instructor, and so on a Wednesday evening, he said, I know this guy that's just bought a new airplane, and he'd probably love to share it with you. And after a flight and a beer after the flight, not during the flight, we started talking. And it wasn't about a week later, I think I called Michel and said, look, you're in England half the time, and the plane's sitting unused half the time. I'm interested. And he said to me, he said, well, I think you could be a good partner in this. So we started not as a business relationship, but as friends owning an airplane. Next thing we knew, it was time for me to leave the career I was in financial services, maybe a bit of a midlife crisis, and I called him up and said, are you serious? And we sat on my back porch with a yellow pad and kind of scoped out where we thought the company would go. So over the years, we've broadened our product line substantially from what we started with as a flexible screw. So bar none, we can provide the right solution for a customer, not just a solution.
And that's the one thing about Spiroflow, is that because we make such a wide range of equipment, we can not only suggest, but we can manufacture the exact solution for the customer, unique to him for his application and his material. Most of our competitors will only make one of these ranges of equipment, so that's all they have to sell. So when the customer goes to them to do a product trial or a test, they will try and sell them that equipment. And as you know, we get people coming here with some fixed ideas in their head that this is what they need, and we know it won't work, but we show them and we tell them why it won't work, and then we show them a piece of equipment and do a test and prove that we can in fact do it much better with another product range. And that's been a big success in my opinion. I think the passion that we put into the business on a daily basis really speaks to itself. I mean, every day is a challenge, and every day we come out winning.